The 2024 Houston Roughnecks have been eliminated from the UFL playoffs. This one is not really a surprise to anybody. The fact is, this team for the first few weeks was clearly the worst team in the league. And then even when they got their one victory, looking back on it, it looks more and more like a fluke. And this team is just... It's pretty clear what this team is. When you look at their overall record, you see that one win against the Renegades. That was the one game Luis Perez did not play well in. That was it. And even then, they still kept it, very close. When you look at their season overall, yes, week 1 against the Showboats, they had a couple plays that went the wrong way, like a muffed punt that ended up giving the Showboats a TD. They could have won it. DC tried to hand them the game, and the Roughnecks said, nah, we good. The Panthers, the only game this team has put up 20 points, and they only did it because the Panthers were blowing them out. Then again, they barely beat the Renegades. The Stallions obliterated them. The Battlehawks, while they did keep it close in, were able to stifle that offense a bit. The offense of the Roughnecks did nothing again. And this past week against the Brahmas, they completely failed, having to kick field goal after field goal, and in the end, only kicking field goals completely backfired on them when the Brahmas were able to get a game-tying drive and then a game-winning drive after a completely mishandled kickoff. This team is bad. Well, their offense is bad. Their offense is the second worst in the league only because of a certain team in Memphis. Are they not the worst? And their third down percentage is second to worst at 34.1%. But as you can see, the big issue is that offense. The offense was pitiful this season and still is. This team's quarterback group has been terrible. So let's just go to that overall trio. The trio of why the Roughnecks suck this year is 3 guys that have all somehow underperformed expectations. Well, 2 of them are somehow underperformed the little expectations we had for them, and the other one is just a complete disappointment. Yes, I get it. Mark came back from an injury and all that. But at the end of the day, his return has been almost completely negligible. He had a couple big runs in his first 2 games. And I mean literally one run in each game pretty much. Overall in 4 games, he has 129 yards. That's less than 35 a game. He has less than 4 yards per carry, which is not among the worst in the league, but is still not great. He has 2 fumbles, only been in 4 games. And he only has 2 rushing touchdowns. You can argue he hasn't even been playing the best running back on the team. You could argue Pledger has been playing better than him week after week. So when you look at that, that's not a good sign. But of course the issue is that guy on the left and that guy on top. For those of you who haven't been watching the UFL, that is Curtis Johnson, the head coach, and Jarrett Garantano, the quarterback of the Houston Roughnecks to start the season. Oh my gosh. We expected both of them to be among the worst in the league at what they did. They have somehow been even more of disappointments than that. Curtis Johnson somehow has all the worst qualities of every coach that has issues. Reggie Barlow's horrid clock management of timeouts and challenges, Reggie has that. Terrible play calling that A.J. Smith sometimes has. Guess what? Curtis Johnson has it. Fumbling talent, just like John DeFilippo has. Guess what Curtis Johnson does? Fumbles talent. You know why? Because for some reason this past week, he decided to restart with the Jarrett Garantano experiment. Garantano through the first 2 weeks was horrid. The worst QB in the league. He decided that that's the guy that's going to spark the best offense in the league. Because don't forget, against the Renegades, Curtis Johnson was quoted saying in describing this offense as the best in the league. He brought back Garantano, who did not play that good. Yes, he was tough playing through an injury, but overall, you can still make the case that he is the worst quarterback to start this year. I know some would say Dormade, but dude, Garantano, across 3 different starts, has 302 passing yards. That is horrid. That is abysmal. An 82 passer rating is not that good either. 9 sacks, he is not him. This trio is a huge reason why this team has not been that good. The fact is there's other stuff I could mention, but this trio is really the one that just needs it all. The defense has been what we kind of expected. They've been on and off. At the end of the day, they can only do so much of a carry job. They can't carry every single week, and for some reason the team wants them to do that. But again, this team's issue was this big 3, and you can blame a lot of other stuff. I mean, it's just glad that the ride is over. This team has been probably the most unwatchable team in the league. Even though the team from Memphis, that I don't even want to mention at this point, has been, getting blown out in every game, at least it's fun to watch them get blown out. Every Roughnecks game is just a pain to watch. Even the thriller at the end with the Brahmas, it's still I have to watch the Roughnecks play offense. Oh my gosh. Most unwatchable unit in the league is the Roughnecks offense. They're just so ugly. This team, yeah, they don't deserve the playoffs. Curtis Johnson will be lucky to have this job next year. I mean lucky, especially if Jaron Horton's interested in a job. He better watch out, because somebody's coming for that job, because he sure as hell ain't going to have it next year.
D1 for the win for Santoso, on its way, and good!